Assalamualaikum. My name Fakhruddin bin Salamat, student ID 2016-806608. So for today's presentation, I will present item 1.1 background of the study and item 157 definition of term of the study. So on 1.1 background of the study, here we discuss about the dependent variable, which is unemployment among Malaysian graduates. According to Department of Statistics Malaysia on 2019, number of unemployed graduates in 2018 was 162,000%, increased 4.6% from 2017. A total of 56.9% of unemployed graduates were female, as compared to 43.1% male. From the background of the study, independent variable that influence the dependent variable, or in other words, the factor that contribute to unemployment among Malaysian graduates are: number 1, quality of education; number 2, economic factor; and number 3, graduate attribute. So for the independent variable, I will discuss for independent variable number 1 and number 2. So for the first independent variable, the quality of education. According to eBay on 2012, much higher education teachers who have a solid theoretical foundation but lack practical experience need to be re-engineered in either or both the experiential pedagogy and the business content. In the most effective intervention, employer and education provider work closely to design curricula that fit business needs. Second, the economic factor. According to Croft on 2016, market conditions play a different role in affecting the employment opportunity as well. The graduates are delicate to the oscillation of estimate return after graduation, and flexible market environment affect the anticipated outcome as a vital element. The risk of an economic decline and policy change also raise the level of uncertainty. So next, for item 157, definition of term of the study. So definition of term for unemployment graduates. According to OPPO and such on 2015, unemployment graduates described as the number or the proportion of degree holder in a given economy who are capable and willing to work but unable to find jobs. Second, definition of term for quality of education. According to Hanafi, Nordin and Chedros on 2014, it can be defined as they are unable to apply what they have learned in their job and cannot adapt to the new working environment. For the third, economic factor. According to Samsudin, Ishaq, Osman and Rahman on 2019, it can be defined as the number of unemployed graduates continue to increase amidst an unsteady economic situation. They are facing tough competition in the job market. And lastly, for definition of term for graduate attributes, according to Hanafi and Nordin on 2014, graduate attribute channel on two types of skill, which are technical and employability skill. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nur Syahriman bin Osman, student ID 2016-814-592. Today I want to present on the topic of significance of study from my group research proposal on the title of unemployment among Malaysian graduate. First point is significance of study for student. With this study, student can identify causes which lead to the unemployment after their graduate, so that student can be well prepared. Early action need to be taken and not after student already graduate. Student need to be aware and have enough time to gather and learn important skill and attribute which is seek and demand by the employer nowadays. We know that most of the employer not only looking for student with only good grades, but also have skill and attribute which is important while performing their job tasks. Since number of job seekers is higher than job vacancy, graduates need to make themselves more marketable and equip themselves with multiple skills. Graduates need to stop having unrealistic salary expectation and settle for lower salary job first to gain experience. Second, I want to talk about significance of study to the lecturer. This study will help lecturer to improve the learning process, since nowadays it is important to match educational syllabus or curriculum with the requirement in job market. Currently, many graduates who had been pursuing certain courses at the IPT were having jobs which did not match their qualification. This will help students to be well prepared with relevant skill and attributes, so that graduate will have high chance of getting the jobs, and at the same time will help to reduce the unemployment rate. With the improvement in learning process, higher education such as IPTA or IPTS can produce quality and skillful graduate to match the job sector. Third point is significance of study to the employers. This study is important for employers to identify the reason and factor of unemployment among Malaysian graduates. By understanding this reason and factor, the employers will know which key indicator is important during the hiring process, especially for fresh graduate. During the selection process, the employers able to make decision and at the same time can strengthen their hiring policy. This will ensure the recruitment process is matched with the job offer. In addition, employers also can create a new job offering based on the graduate skill and attribute, and at the same time will help on the unemployment issues. It was the responsibility of employers and organizations to offer job opportunities so that the graduate could be trained. Last point is significance of study to the communities. This study also important for the community, as high unemployment and jobless among graduates will create a problem. In recent years, being a university graduate no longer guarantee you a job. As the number of graduates continue to spiral, graduating students are facing frustratingly long waiting period for opening amidst a sputtering economy. Graduate unemployment is potentially damaging to the economy and communities. Students have spent between 3 and 5 years pursuing a diploma or bachelor degree, but without a job, how they can pay for the cost of living and to repay their study loan. Most of the time we hear complaint of employer was that fresh graduate do not have the relevant skill and knowledge. This will demoralize fresh graduates who are looking for a job, since without a job, how can someone will have skill and knowledge? That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Suri Azrina binti Samsuri alias Abdul Hamid. My student ID is 2016877926. Okay, now I'm presenting on point 1.6, that is limitations of study. Okay, During this study, we have encountered a variety of limitations. Okay, let me explain. Firstly, it is with the sampling. The sample was very small, which is likely to give a real concern on the response biases. Response bias may have certain biases on account of several factors that might chances of misinterpretations of actual attitudes, preference for selective responses, and it could have decreased the reliability and the validity of the data collected for our study. The other response biases that some respondent may not keen of giving back is to fill up the questionnaires. They think that there is no initiative rewarded, and the process of filling up the questionnaire is really troublesome for them. Okay, and secondly, um, what we have done is what we have found out is that the unpleasant way of generalizing the result of the study. The result was conducted uh, on the employment among the Malaysian graduates. So the results cannot be generalized and applied to the graduates who study in some other universities and also from graduates from overseas. Okay. Thirdly, with this pandemic situation throughout the world and also in our country affected too. So the limitation was mm, the biggest limitations that we encounter. Okay, uh, firstly because um, some of them does not really reply to our questionnaires, and also somehow they might feel uneasy to fill out the questionnaire during this pandemic, as there are a lot of um, fake fake or scam moving around, so they're afraid of that such things that happen if they fill up the questionnaire, or they think that we are doing um, some scamming. Okay, and on the other hand, that the financial constraint also limited to budget and reward and motivate these preferred respondents to our study. um, that we have to consider to come up with unnecessary expenses uh, to reward them, and buy some small gift to give to the um, respondents. And furthermore, the time constraint also is one of the factor that um, we face up, and that as a result it leads to us to lose a very valuable chance to obtain a very more comprehensive results on this study. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Izzat Farhan bin Talib. I want to presenting the relationship between independent variable with the dependent variable. The first is the relationship between quality of education and unemployment graduate. First, quality of education are the factors that contribute to the unemployment problem among Malaysia. Second, among the factors that affect the effectiveness of education institution are leadership, quality of the curriculum, classroom climate, achievement-oriented, effective learning time, structured teaching and recognition of success. Third, the quality of education is depending on the quality of teaching and learning process, education facility and infrastructure, well-planned curriculum and effective implementation of the curriculum. Fourth, the increasing number of the public and private education institutions in Malaysia result to competition among the education institution. Fifth, the quality of education at the higher education institution become a major factor to the unemployment problem. Sixth, main factor to the unemployment problem among graduates is the failure to ensure education syllabus or curriculum consistent with the matter required in the job. Second is the relationship between unstable economy and unemployment graduate. First, inward foreign direct investment (FDI) is found to be important in helping to decrease in unemployment rate in Malaysia. Second, other factors which affected the unemployment significantly were exchange growth rate, gross domestic product and foreign labor. The other factor not included in the study were oil price, capital stock, status of development, rural or urban area, wages, labor utilization, money supply and reduction of demand. Fourth, larger FDI produce more job market and thus improving the gross domestic product. Fifth, higher income lead to low unemployment rate and stable economy, while low income lead to unemployment rate. Sixth, international trade will create international demand and create more job opportunity and reduce unemployment. The third, the relationship between graduate attribute and unemployment graduate. First, unemployment issue is happen not because of the lack of job opportunity. Instead, it happen because of other factors such as the low quality of graduate. Second, there are employers in the industry mentioned that graduate do not have the suitable skill and qualification. Third, a study conducted by Central Bank of Malaysia in 2002 also found that the Malaysian graduate are less skilled as compared to the international graduate. Fourth, weaknesses of Malaysia graduate are in the aspect of management, problem solving, communication skill, creativity, critical thinking, proactive, self-confident, interaction skill, and each aspect lead to the difficult for the graduate in obtaining job which meet their qualification. Fifth, finding of the study are also revolved on the technical and unemployability skill among the graduate that become the factor for the unemployment issue. 6. The findings show that the majority of respondents agree that a lack of graduate attribute and poor employability skill among the graduate is one of the factors that lead to the unemployment problem.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mazlin binti Mahmud. I am continuing the previous presenter talking about underpinning theory. The best theory for our studies is contingency theory. We choose this story because it focuses on situation or environmental factors that influence leadership. It is an approach to the study of organizational behavior in which explanations are given as to how contingent factors such as technology, cultural, and external environmental influence that design and function of the environment. The theory claims that which is no single best way to design organizational structure that is effective in some situations and may not be successful in others. Similar to other socio-technical, these theories discussed here with the contingency theory has been applied in much unemployment among Malaysia graduate study. Now I am talking about the theoretical framework. I have two diagrams for my study. The first is schematic diagram. The schematic diagram is the formation that can support the theory for this research in this study. Unemployment among Malaysia graduates is the dependent variable. As for the independent variable, quality education, economic factor, and graduates attributes. The second theoretical framework is scientific diagram. This framework are very detailed, which is at the quality educations, more add on the curriculum studies and teaching, and can include the learning process. At the economic factor, the increased job market, and at the graduates attributes, can see lack of score of soft skills. The next part is conceptual framework. Based on literature that focus research on employability, it was found that many factors affect graduates' employability. These inside and outside factors, not within the control of the graduates, include quality of education, economic factors, and graduates' attributes that is in direct relationship with unemployment among graduates. It is important matter because the individuals or students involved in increasing their employability level in the job market, except those who aim to be self-employed or being an entrepreneur. Unemployability then has potential that the graduates has seek to develop, to learn and succeed in a suitable employment in the context of the current labor market. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Intan Azmira binti Rahim Omar. My student ID is 2017702785. So our next presenter for the chapter 3 for research design. So after developing the theoretical framework and the hypothesis, so the next task was to design the research. So by collecting the requisite data and their analysis, it should be carefully planned and focus on the expected output of the study. So this section, I will explain in detail how the major components of the research project are structured and brought together to address the core research problem. Actually, they have 6 elements in the research design, which is purpose of the study, type of investigation, extent of researcher interference, study setting, time horizon, and unit of analysis. Okay, now we proceed with the first element in research design, which is purpose of the study. So this study we divided by 2 categories, which is primary data and secondary data. So this study on unemployment among Malaysia graduates is a descriptive study. The attempt will be made to ascertain and describe the characteristics of the variables that influence the unemployment. So we will use the survey techniques, and we got 167 respondents out of 200 students from Klang Valley. So we use the secondary data to get the statistic and any other inputs, and we'll review the previous research and journal to find out the relationship of the 3 other factors, which is independent variable, quality of education, economics factors, and graduates attributes. Alright, for the second element in research design, which is types of investigations, this is under correlational study. So normally in this study, we attempt to establish the cause-effect relationship between quality of educations, economic factors, and graduates' attributes towards unemployment among Malaysia graduates. Okay, next we proceed with the next element, which is extent of researchers' interference. So this correlational study on unemployment, it is conducted in the natural environment with minimum interference to the normal behavior of the respondents. So we can look at the relationship between independent variables such as quality educations, economic factors, and graduates' attributes, and unemployment among Malaysia graduates. So for the study settings, actually this is a field study conducted under non-contrived settings where natural setting field experiment proceed normally. So due to the cross-sectional nature of this field study, so the result of data analysis will vary with time. Alright, for time horizon, with respect to the time frame involved, the present study is one shot or cross-sectional in nature. So the primary data were gathered once during a period of 1 month from the respondents and who constituted the sample. So the objective, it was to look at how things were at the specific points in time without consideration of the history or trend adverse. So for the unit of analysis, the last elements, we distribute the questionnaire to the respondent. So what they have to do is they need to fill up the questionnaire that consists of part A, part B, and part C. In part A, they have to fill up the informations. Part B, the evaluation of their duration of an unemployment with using of Likert scale. For example, 1 very dissatisfied or 5 very satisfied. And part C, the criteria in selecting their higher education, including proficiency in English, academic performance, and communication skill with Likert scale 1 very disagree or 5 very agreed. So that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Zahra Nur Kamal. My student number 2017929407. I am student from program BA244. I am going to present on topic population. Population is large entire group of people, event or objects. The main focus of researcher is to investigate on problem or issues occurs. Why researchers rely on sampling techniques? Because population is very large. test cannot be done on every individual because it is expensive. It needs more time consuming and high accuracy. Sampling frame. Sampling frame that we took was from the Tracer study in 2012, which is database that graduates have to fill up the survey during their convocation. The study targeted employees in big companies such as public limited, multinational corporation, government-linked companies, government bodies. We conveniently choose the companies from the list. We managed to administer the questionnaire 98 by postal and online, in total 350. We conducted online questionnaire by using Google Drive application in the second month in order to encourage participation. Refer to table 3, the survey progression. Postal questionnaire by week 4 managed to receive 51 respondents. Online questionnaire in week 3 we already managed to get 59 response, and week 4 92 response. Means online response is more effective. Sample size. Sample size is the large number of data sources that are actually selected from the total population. Basic principle of statistical sampling demonstrate that the accuracy of sample is strongly influenced by the size of the sample itself. The larger number of sample generated is the higher accuracy. The smaller number of sample generate lesser accuracy. In table 4 shows 44% active employed person secured employment in less than 3 months, 41% between 3 months to less than 6 months. Meanwhile, 15% were active unemployed person in the period of more than 1 year. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Ami Hakim Muhammad Al-Bakri. So I will explain about sampling technique, unit of analysis and also instrument. So our research is about unemployment among graduate in Malaysia. So the first slide is sampling technique. The first point is this study was conducted using the questionnaire method for the data collection. So the second point is this technique of this method through collection of data will decrease the cost and consumption of time. Next, the information will be clear regarding the researcher will be able to explain to them while distributing the questionnaire. And the last is the questionnaire can be clarified on the spot. As a result, we get quick responses from the respondent. Second slide, the researcher will test the student with 2 sections in questionnaire, which is in section A and also section B. So in section A, demographical variable. So the second is the demographical profile function as a way to know the respondent into how they categorize the respondent in order to form the research more validly. The result info question regarding on the gender, age, CGPA, and level of study. For section B, the researcher wants to test the variable on regarding knowledge about factors that contribute to employment among graduate population. So basically, we have 3 factors, which is the first is economic factor, the second is graduate attribute, and also the last is quality of education. So the type of scale that researcher will use are 5-point scale from 1, which is strongly disagree, for 2 disagree, 3 is natural, 4 is for agree, and 5 for strongly agree. Next, unit of analysis. This study investigates the relationship between the quality of education, economic factor, graduate attribute, and employment among Malaysian graduates. The unique entity for this study is individual, which is focused on fresh graduate student that just finished their studies. The respondent will be given the questionnaire to be answered, then obtain the outcome of the research from this questionnaire. Perception is a variable that will be studied among the unit of analysis. And the last one is the answer given by the respondent will determine whether the variable correlate with the objective of the study, which is unemployment among graduate in Malaysia. Lastly, the instrument. We have three factors that contribute to unemployment, which is the first one is quality of education. So we took the journal from the Muhammad Imtiaz Hussein, the first author. The second one is Kalai Selvi Anak Perempuan Yagamaran. The third one is Tanzila Afrin. Next is Nasir Muazzam Limon, dan next Muhammad Nasirul Zaman, dan last is Dr. Asif Mahbub Karim. So in this article, we took out the 5 items for the questionnaire. For second section is economic factor that contribute to unemployment among graduate in Malaysia. So the author also is Muhammad Imtiaz Hussein, the first one author, and the second is Kalai Selvi Anak Perempuan Yagamaran, Tanzila Afrin, Nasir Muazzam Limon, Muhammad Nasirul Zaman, and last is Dr. Asif Mahbub Karim. So the last factor is graduate attribute. So the actor also the same, which is Muhammad Imtiaz Hussein, Kalai Selvi Anak Perempuan Yagamaran, Tanzila Afrin, Nasir Muazzam Limon, Muhammad Nasirul Azam, dan the last one is Dr. Asif Mahbub Karim. So in these two, we took out for each point 5 items from this factor that contribute to the unemployment rate among graduate in Malaysia. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. So next, I will explain our validity and reliability, collection of data procedure and plan of data analysis. So for validity, the instrument will be validated by one of the experts in HR. For reliability, the extent to which judges are able to use category definition to classify qualitative data, a degree of consistency achieved between orders processing the same rate. Okay, next for collection of data procedure, the questionnaire will be distributed to 167 students area Klang Valley. The respondent will be given 1 week to complete questionnaire. After 1 week, the researcher will collect back the questionnaire. If the respondent is not complete, 1 day extra will be given to answer. Researcher will give a call to the next day to collect the questionnaire. In case they still have not complete the questionnaire, extra half day will be given and collected on the same day. And for plan of data analysis, our research objective we have 4, which is to investigate the relationship quality of education and employment among Malaysian graduates, to investigate the relationship between economic factor and unemployment among Malaysian graduates. Third one is to investigate the relationship between graduates' attributes and unemployment among Malaysian graduates. And the last one is to determine which variable most influence unemployment among Malaysian graduates. And the research question will be: is there a relationship between quality of education and employment among Malaysian graduate? Second one is there a relationship between economic factor and employment among Malaysian graduates? Third, is there a relationship between graduates' attributes and employment among Malaysian graduate? And last one is there a relationship determine which variable most influence unemployment among Malaysian graduates? Thank you.